and so there's no air that should come out at the edges or the ends. So as you put it now, you lay it nicely on the hollow wood. But now the other side will produce a sound when you hit it. And then on the background, there is an instrument, a one stringed instrument called arutu or orutu. Okay, so there is always either arutu or orutu. We grew up in in our sisal areas. We grew up calling it arutu, but I know there are Luo areas it's called orutu. And so it's a one stringed instrument. It is on the background. You can hear it when you listen keenly. And then the main thing here are drums. These drums are also made in a special way but now the drums they use a cow skin, dry cow skin. And both a hangla and the drums, bull, we call it in Luo bunde a lot, bull, achiel. They when they lose their intensity, when they don't bring out a nice sound, you warm it up in the fire so that they become now stiff and hard, and the sound then the bunde they are a lot. They're in size. They have different sizes, and they produce different sounds according to their sizes, and they're only also so everybody playing these things are specialists in that instrument. But the mama, listen to those mamas, that's also just a special thing. Gweo, iluonge ni gweo, or dudu. The music genre is called dudu, but you will hear them saying words. As if they are speaking to things you can't hear. You have to be properly Luo for you to understand what they are saying. Not just Luo geographically, not just Luo who is speaking the language, but Luo who can translate what they're saying in those words. I thought tales and stories we would start by this. Thank you. There is another instrument there. It's called ongengo. An iron thing, either bent or an already cut iron nicely, and you hit it with another form of a thin long iron. It's the one doing tick 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 tick. If you can listen to it carefully, so basically that's what is called a hangla. The one that we'll dance to now are modified with whatever you modify it with these modern instruments. But this was the original. Yes, so that's the original Hangla tune from the Luo community originally. Erokamano, JK.
Uh, Doesn't it clarify? Angela Kota Jawa is not the same.
It's not the same. Yeah, actually, what we dance to now is a Jawa. Yeah,
That is not a Hangla.
that's not a Hangla, right?
You want the man no Hangla, but yes.
GK, thank you so much for again another episode of Luo Folktales and Stories. We don't know what you have for us in store. I know we always find out as we move on. But I want to thank you again for taking your time and being with us. But let me, especially in a very special way, welcome our people, our cultural champions, the ardent cultural champions. They are with us here every day, listening to various Luo happenings. Yesterday, a number of them I know are here with us. The Proverbs, today they're here with Luo Folktales. Welcome. Thank you. We appreciate your time. We appreciate everything that you do to just be with us here. I welcome you. Take your seat, relax, have your cup of whatever you are drinking, be it porridge, be it juice, be it busa, be it ugenya. I talk last because that's a very special place. Um, be it coffee, all those things, chai, kain yuko pere divai, tokin ja ugenya. Kanyo ano ugenya pacho, ugenya pasi. What if
Wiyo wil kod
uno
wiyo wil moso Joseri Tuoro.
just
Joseri Tuoro be nyaki remember.
Ngoja ma very special. Hmm? Ma very special. Nyingi gindi ke kitabu mar ngima itworo. Itugo. Erokamano uru. Kariburu. But Ramoth, I pass it to you. Most jogi rwakgi. But ber duto
Erokamano.
waduoko ne Ramogi Cultural Institute for Luo Research and Education. Oyo ok nyal wil. Erokamano for sponsoring this. And your host, Makawuono, as always, Ouda Onle. Karibu JK.
Erokamano telo. Erokamano wonde. Good. Kanti koko moribo background Ouda tinyisa. Nikech an kama nitie a bit of koko matin. But
No problem.
okay, bye. Erokamano uru. Cultural champions, welcome. Welcome, Kendo. Luo is our business. We are open for business 247-365. We take all forms of value, except from invisible value. And this evening, Mount Kodwa, we appreciate your presence. It could have been anywhere in the world, but on Kodwa, you could have been doing anything. Kamano.
Neno gima gitimono.
Anyuola nyaka register. Ka ginyiswa ni gin kanyo, waneno. Wabe wamosou kanyo. Kata kudhionwa network to wamosou. To wabodhi mbele kodu kamano. Thagwano is the challenge mwachoga every week. We need some of it. So, erokamano kuom wasigu bet kanyo be. Kod kethonwa network. Wamosou be. Erokamano to Ramogi Cultural Institute for Luo Heritage Research and Education for sponsoring one kaka ne wuonre nosewacho to ago erokamano kendo. Kawuono, although story manwa somo cha mar Gak, Jo Abuk, Ajeth, and the village. I don't need a story onego wane or some slowly over time and very dense. And to apply at this time in game so much. Joluo could really learn something from it. Kataka kwa approach the future. But kawuono wange moro be mabor matin. So kasa oyie to wabo some te but okane ka obo neno. Mailongoni, the man, the giraffe, and the bird are dancing. Order Martin.
Okay.
Wachako kama. Man and giraffe and the bird went to dance in a far-off village. The man went to the chicken and told it that they were going to a marriage dance. And he begged the chicken to lend him its dancing bells. The chicken agreed and gave him the bells. The giraffe went to the goat and asked if there was any place it intended to go. And the goat replied, "My cousin, I have nowhere to go now." The giraffe asked if the goat could lend him its long tail. So that he could flirt with his bridegroom. The goat agreed and gave the tail to the giraffe. The bird went to the millipede and said, "Oh, my cousin, if you could lend me your bright eyes for this dance today, I would give you my little dark ones instead. How can I see with my dark eyes? I who am a friend of the fiancé of the king's daughter." The millipede agreed and gave its eyes to the bird. The man and the giraffe and the bird took the things given to them and they went to participate in the marriage dance. The giraffe had the goat's tail. The giraffe went to participate in the marriage dance, and the giraffe no, the giraffe had the goat's tail. The giraffe went to participate. Um, the giraffe had the goat's tail. The giraffe was the fiancé to the king's daughter. The giraffe danced and flirted with everybody, passing its long tail on everybody's face. The fiancé's friends were the man and the bird. The man exchanged the chicken's dancing bells with a cap, looking like the red part of the cock's. They danced during all the days of that marriage dance. When the dance was over, they decided to go back to their homes and to give back the things they had borrowed. The giraffe told his friends that he did not intend to give back the tail to the goat. "I shall look ugly, and my fiancé shall not love me anymore." Mos, ose chak nyona. You can go. You can go and give. You can go and give your things back, he said. The giraffe went his own way, and the day he met with the goat asked him why he had disappeared. "I have been waiting for
GK, you are muted. GK. GK, you are muted. Muted. GK. Okay. JK, something is not happening. Let me look for engineers. Okay, I think there's an issue. He'll be back now. Now he'll be back now. Now.
Mana kunya kadera nyarna. Jalu kiti kiti bagi. Kisuma. Hey. Kisuma. Hey. Jalu ngat malit mi woro. Pachwaliu kendo tiyo. Wati ngotwondi moso molilo. Wahero kwe gidongro kende. Riurwa kwa msingi marwa. Nyadhi wa
JK, in back. JK, you're muted. Right, Nyokaraga my GK is having a connection issue, not actual connection issue, a technical issue, but it's being sorted out. He'll be back shortly. Bear with us. Bear with us. Sometimes they are beyond our capability.
Daluinja koro.
Loud and clear. Loud and clear. Winji koro. Yeah.
Osigu nokelo gini. But mago
Okay.
kawaida.
Mana kakoro mako mach kosechako ka story osechako donjo to ber ndi onge wach.
Wadoga e mbaka.
Aya, doga e mbaka. Karibu.
Nachopo my cousin, my dear cousin. My dear cousin, the giraffe replied, I have been flirting and making love to my fiancée. I did not find time to come and see you. By the way, I suggest that we had better start to ask how much I have to pay for that tail. My dear giraffe, the goat answered, what is this talk now? I'm not intending to sell my tail. But it is so beautiful on me, the giraffe replied. Or do you want my fiancé not to love me anymore? No, my cousin, the goat replied. I shall bring you to court. When the goat went to court to make a case against the giraffe had already run to the wilderness. He was summoned, but it never appeared. So the giraffe remained with the goat's tail and still remains with it up to the present time. The goat cursed the giraffe, saying that it would never eat any grass in the wilderness where it was hiding. He should only get tree leaves for food. That's why the giraffe still doesn't eat grass. On the other hand, the man refused to give back the dancing bells to the chicken. The chicken sent him a message asking for his bells, but the man sent a reply saying that the dancing bells were not with him anymore and that they were given to his in-laws as a marriage price. Doesn't the chicken know that in-laws usually take things which are not even your own? He said, your bells have been confiscated during the dance. The chicken again sent a message to the man. I heard what you said. If your words are true, tell me what you intend to give me in compensation for my dancing bells. The man replied that it had to accept the cup which he was given to him in exchange for the bells. One day, the chicken met with the man. The man asked him, by the way, you have followed your in-laws to the chicken asked him, by the way, you had followed your in-laws to take my dancing bells. What will I dance with when there is a dance? What will I dance with when there is a dance? When there is a dance here in the village, my dear cousin, the man replied, I have given you a beautiful cap. If you can extend your wings in the ground during a dance and check yourself, you will see that there is no lady rejecting you. The millipede went to the bird to ask for his eyes. Tell me, dear bird, the millipede said, why do you still keep my eyes? I still want to flirt about with the girls, the bird answered. How can we desert the girls now? I came here because I had something to do. I am going now again. But it is good you have come, the millipede said. You shall go back to flirt with the girls, but not with my eyes any longer. I'm leaving for a long journey. There are some other people near us here from whom you can borrow some eyes to dance with. Give me back my eyes now. When the bird understood that the millipede he told it when the bird understood that the millipede was was talking seriously, he told it that he would agree. He only begged him to let him fetch a certain thing on a tree and to wait until he came back. The bird flew up to the top of the tree and remained there. The millipede was waiting, shouting to the bird that it was still waiting for him. But the bird flew to another tree and started singing, I am clever to have stolen the millipede's eyes. People who were nearby asked the millipede if it hadn't heard that the bird was sitting up there, and that he certainly would never come back again, and that it had therefore better leave and go on its way. But the millipede said, I shall not leave. I shall not leave the bird. I will follow him wherever he goes. And the millipede always follows the bird and still claims his eyes up to this day. But the bird still has the millipede's eyes, and that's why it's still singing, I am clever because I've stolen the millipede's eyes. Wonle, mbakorumo kanye,
Jike,
mbakorumo kanye, ni apachi.
manipulation ng'eny manade.
Nursing is ujotuoro. Ni nyaka ni bi kod gimoro isero. Ineno.
Yeah.
Ni apachi. You're just gaslighting.
Gaslighting, manipulation, otimo mach.
Miriambo,
Miriambo,
conmanship.
ai. Kare gigi nochakre chon. Emomiyo wan kama wantie ni. Tutatenga ni kara ni nochakre chon. Nimetenga macho yangu ya kuona Otek. But yeah, generally, you know Luo folk tales. It brings out beautifully the animal kingdom. I always think it's quite an intricate issue to connect. Lwar, kosawinjango.
Yeah,
Machine
auntie.
wacho gike ga.
Auntie.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I'm just saying, I love the way Luo folk tales and stories um, um, depict the animal kingdom. And you know, another thing that I need to say, even if I don't say much about this thing, but the fact that these animals are speaking, are talking, and then technology comes, and then technology and acting and modern and arts, and then we watch the movies like Madagascar, where animals are speaking and all doing all these things. Tell me if our ancestors were that primitive, were that stupid, why are the kids in 2026, the year of our Lord, stuck in TVs watching animals speaking? Where did it come from? Yet those who are very primitive, how would primitive people create an animal kingdom that is speaking, that is creating life, that is speaking to things that are alive with us today? Manipulation is alive with us today. People, human beings lying to human beings and taking over their property for good today until they change the life of the other one. And allow me to say this, a politician, entrepreneur who steals public money to make a child die because taken to the hospital and there was no It's no difference with an animal that takes one's tail, decide to say, I was still with my fiance. I was meaning to come and I couldn't come. Guy gave you his tail. And then you come up with, and then you change. Some even decide never to eat grass forever. Some people die and get buried. They can't live forever because of something that happened. Their rightful share was taken away from them. The animal kingdom, as depicted by our ancestors, is alive today in our lifetime. Ramoth.
Madam Eda Dakatiel, Adugo Dakatiel, Mia Dakatiel.
Yeah. Yes. So listening to the stories of these animals speaking, but the magic in it is that there's nothing new we are doing as much as we say, we are in technology. We're here. We're here watching. Our kids are stuck in TVs watching Madagascar, watching all this Popeye, everything. Animals are speaking. Our ancestors did these things long before. Long before. Animals were borrowing tails from each other, borrowing eyes from each other. They lived it. They lived to tell the stories. And they knew these stories being pushed forward to teach our generations that are coming. The only problem is it's now happening amongst human beings or human persons. We don't know because human beings are people, are good. But they are human persons who have got no being in them. They're behaving like this animal that was borrowing everything, but doesn't bring it back, doesn't give it back. And therefore, you change you change actually even the physical appearance of the other one forever. That is like a child or an adult going to the hospital and can't get or chemotherapies for 8 months. You have to wait. I borrowed, somebody borrowed the machine, the dialysis machine, or it's broken, it's the money that was meant to fix it, or to buy a new one. Our ancestors seeing forward many centuries ahead of us. They saw it.
And tell and put a blame un
It was
Jotuoro, un manu biro Nairobi, un manu kelo Nairobi called corruption. Jotuoro get problem. Ah, erokamano telo. Erokamano. Wa pick up gimani wachono. This Luo tales, folk tales. I will have to insist. They are folk tales. They're not just fairy tales, because those ones are different. In Luo, we don't really have fairy tales as such. More folk tales, something that really can with some impact. And then the impact is not just impact of being an English word. They even teach you how life works. In this story, none of the people who wronged have been punished until today. Until today, the giraffe is still out there. Maybe you watch the cast, but for then Manakuro with his nice tail, the bird is still up there on the trees. Kamili Pedu lower. Yeah, bueno, you know the cap. Kuro Kanyo on Laiwa Chona, which is very interesting. Kakao Bill.
Koro, must we be surprised? Because if you've just opened it, that they are not, the giraffe is enjoying life with the long tail out there. The goat is struggling with a short thing, or nothing. And it actually gives, it just come. People have wronged humanity a lot. They are not punished. They have never been punished. They around. This thing, I didn't know what you were gonna come up with, but it has just pricked my mind. What I was seated somewhere writing a piece for a newspaper, and Utumishi girls came back to me, and I was looking at how the society are judging these girls. These girls are now the best of the devil. If there was a devil, the girls in most of people's eyes right now, those girls are the grandchildren of the worst devil ever. But guess what? This mistake stems from the devil seated in suits and ties in offices who are not implementing policies that should have made this thing to be avoided. They are the ones making noise more. This thing is happening to people who are in those schools who knows what is happening, but because they know when you touch on it, you're fired. So you don't correct a problem. Because you're fired, because the people firing you are the people who knows that the system must be maintained for us to continue eating. Everybody is angry at these kids. But the thugs, the devils, are in suits walking around in all these, flying all over the world with the money that was meant to correct what's happening in our boarding school and all these other things. So the giraffes are here. The millipede is running around looking for the chicken. You can't find it. The chicken has learned to fly. It doesn't crawl anymore. It has the money. It has bought aeroplanes. It flies everywhere with choppers. Where will the millipede, who cannot even afford a bicycle, get it? Kama utaduoko ni.
Mighty interesting. Okay. Mighty interesting. Okay, kirango kikmanoa wacho some of the things you've said before. Kana we about achien. Chien. To nagi wacho ni achien is a way, achien ngato is a way of getting revenge because he appealed on justice. Ngech gikelo these three situations of the handled very differently. Giraffe oringo, dhano timo exchange kod gweno, winyo boringo. So and a very interesting paradox. Justice wokure. Justice for the goat akure. And justice for the millipede akure. Akure. Nikech gine chieno the giraffe. Not chieno. Or cast the giraffe. The goat cast the giraffe. To millipede botimo nade. Nikech winyono to biro tinde awinjo ni luongo gin sharp boys. Okwali to dhi to bet kucha to wacho kako riek. Justice kanyo akure. Because the Luo world, and at the core of it is justice. At the core of my Luo world is justice.
We never know any other thing properly.
And justice.
Justice.
Akure.
Who is going to hold them responsible for what they have done? Who is going to hold the giraffe responsible?
Mm. Kata kiketo the issue miwacho kaka the guns.
Mm.
Mm. In case kaka mano itimo nikech pok asomo asebedo a bit occupied, so pok go deeper into that. But giwacho ni botim nyirigo nade? What is
But
it?
they are. First of all, katakidwa punish we. How are you going to punish them? First of all, some of them are not yet 18. I think most of them are not yet 18. You can't even put legally. You can't even put them in a normal jail. You're not allowed by law. But for Miramoth, before I even get there, blame has shifted. Everybody now is blaming one sect. Easy to blame the weak, the one who is now like at our mercy. So how are they? Even if you punish them, how are you gonna get the 16 lives back? 17. One actually had died again in hospital. But all this goes back to our Luo folk tales. It's all connected. That, like just I've said, the giraffe is the giraffe is now like is the hugest thing you can ever think about. How are you gonna go to it? It's the biggest ship in the ocean, bringing all the goods from everywhere. He's feeding its empire with bribes and everything. Who is gonna ask for the tail from the giraffe? Nobody. The millipede whether it dies. Even if somebody stepped on it down here, who knows? Sometimes millipede doesn't even, you don't even know you killed it. It's so insignificant. But it was meant to be a very, very important insect or animal or whatever it is. But somebody took it things away from it and ran with it and disappeared with it and started bringing stories. But the beauty is, we're talking about Luo folk tales that were told many generations back. And then it comes to be alive in the year 2026, the year of our Lord 2026, very alive, depicting everything that is going on in our society today. It can only be Luo folk tale. What a time to be alive, to read Luo folk tale that depicts the life. What a time. That's all I can say for now.
Erokamano telo. Kapok itieko ting'isa mondo idhi mbele nikech itieko. Iwinja telo? Koso in muted? Kose gitimo ni gicha?
Awinji, iwinja?
Awinji.
Gitimo na gicha.
Mm.
Apan gitime taduo. Koro iwinja?
Hey,
Iwinja?
awinji maler.
Okay, all right.
Awinji maler. Nitie story ni kata folk tale ni wanyalo nene from a very surface level nikech luo gik gin nitie gi levels. But ineno at the back of it ipenjo ni this justice oa kure? Oa kure? Tawacho ni Luo world, the core of it and justice. But kawacho kamano seche moko maybe ok make sense nikech one thing mwanyisoga ni Luo is not just so simple. Kendo abonuoyo en very scientific to en gi records. En gi records of what the people, what ancestors ne think and why ginegi think kamano. Until the other time, gik ma joluo timo very few and coincidence. Koro wadogi justice ni kapok wadoki story ni. Nikech maybe the aim of this story okay solving the problem. Gidwa nyisi some other point itoke kucha ma nyaki understand the culture e kiboneno gima gini wacho. Nikech luo kaka ni go through the processes e kaka imedo ng'eyo the deepness of gini wacho no. So wawach kamano. Gima ipenjo ga many times, wach juok. In the Luo mind, mabo bedo a bit long. Jomoko ero someone go deeper into Luo thought from the records. Marango justice somewhere else. Nkech wabotimo gini, walero gini. In the Luo mind, the existence of an invisible matter is as evidence as the existence of the sun, the rain, and the rainbow, and the other things found on the earth. The existence of invisible matter, milongon spiritual matter. In Luo, it is just invisible. Okay, they do not exist, and then okinyal nene with your plain eyes. One must be blind or mad to deny it. Things do not come to existence by themselves. There must be something which is the deep cause of their creation. But kikui will, wasomogini English. English take on some limitations. Adimbele. Ibone no limitations go unwind. The more we read, kwa somo kamati bo, your religious mindset bo kick in. Wazungu say me the debate ma God exists or not. So Igbo bedo locked pio. Mano biro ka the English loop. Maparo. So wasoma ka and then obo bedo unwinded later. There must be something which is the deep cause of their creation. Taking the most familiar and possibly the most striking examples, the Luo argue that the procreation of a human being can only be explained by the existence of an invisible but highly powerful matter which contains the principle of creation, which thus brings existence to life. Okay? This cause of existence is called Juok. Okay? Kendabonu okanyo. Joka Juok is spirit. Mano English thinking. Nkelo English concepts in Luo. Direct translation. Manegoga Africa. Everything is equals. Okay, abonu okanyo. The Luos argue that the procreation of a human being can only be explained by the existence of an invisible but highly powerful matter which contains the principle of creation, which thus brings existence to life. Ouda, telo. Inkan. Gitimo nigicha.
Iwinja?
Awinji. Iwinjo partner. Gitimo nigicha. This cause of existence is called Juok. Everything in the universe does exist because of Juok's intervention. Everything is made by Juok. This cause of existence, Oda no can. This cause of existence is dual.
Ilal
Everything
kendo. Koso an.
in
Nwani.
Manilal. Mhm. This cause of existence is
Okay,
called
nwani kach.
joke.
Inuona.
This cause of existence is
Yeah.
called joke. Everything in the universe does exist because of Juok's intervention. Everything is made by Juok. Koachoni, everything is made by Juok. Or slip into Englishness. Iboneno why? Actually not slip into Englishness. Because the more explain, in no contradiction, manti we.
Mm-hmm.
Because the concepts are very clear. Interpret it through Gigi. Okay. What then? It's made by Juok. It is not possible to translate the term Juok. Winjeka Kowacho. It is not possible. Not possible to translate the term Juok by the English term God.
Mm.
It is not possible. Only because some Luo about Juok. Mom, you know, actually, Kiwinjon, everything is made by Juok. To we dock into your religiousness, for God made the
Mm-hmm.
world. But only sin Kaka Joluo understand Juok. Okinyal translate to the God. Koromako we kring. If we only remember that Luo, God, would lack any theological dimension, that it is merely the highest power in the universe, the spiritual energy, but not necessarily the consciousness of creation.
Mm.
Luo TJ Tech, Luo TJ Tech, nikech sami dwari ingo cha tomako wi yongisin kowachon the highest power to kuamin kaka in a religious person iwachon God is the highest power nikech wachon this power onge consciousness kaka iwachon Nyasaye bet ga kuro to decide no paro juok onge that element.
Mm.
So wachawacha ni
Mm-hmm.
kaka inyalo wacho ni the highest energy amiya practical
Mm.
example. Wi-Fi en energy donge network
Correct.
magi ne en energy to gidhi with different levels. Ultraviolet light be en energy, but spectrum no nitie the
Mm-hmm.
highest energy to nitie the lowest energy. Bluetooth giri gin very
Correct.
low energy,
True.
but okinyal wacho that energy en Nyasaye nikech iwacho ne en the highest energy.
Mm-hmm.
Mane kaka gimi emomiyo wacho ka Joluo are very scientific. Kikia the world of science to gigi bo bagi nikech ibo dhi into your religious mindset piyo piyo.
Yes.
Wacho kama Luos believe in this world. Luos believe in this world. Not very simple, but obolal. Bolalo jimangeng. They bear no illusions of a life after death. Their only hope for eternity is in procreation.
Mm-hmm.
Iwinjo kanyo? Yanda odonjo.
Mm-hmm. Kabisa.
Ginonge gi my polo wa. This one.
Mane mad.
Kanye kuma nwachake that statement. Because the first time manowacho gini ji no ka
Ni
understand
my polo.
it is literally my polo wa. Nikech your eternity okidhi
Mm-hmm.
polo, your eternity
Yan. Watalo wanyono live wire koro paro ni omara moth wire. Yeah. India. Okay. My polo. My polo. Waritro moth mondo okadwar medo or golo anything in the line of thought he's going with. Koro orite mana matin obiro. There is an issue with a new system that we're trying to use.
Piny dong malit ma, piny dong migomba. Piny dong malit ma, piny dong migomba. Lutang'uru warumo, mula biro mayore. Yeu chiem gadi tau, to umodh ga gwatau. Mana dier. To mano kaka wadok chien nikech mirima ahinya. Mano kaka wadok chien nikech mirima ahinya. Jok mayande onyiero chon ema tinde telo. Lowo mayande pidho yawa ema tiba uso. Jopiny luwo masani, yeu lokie paro. Jopiny luwo masani, yeu lokie paro. Konyuru ogandau, beduru e riwruok. Riwriu duond paro mondo ubed gogandau.
Telo.
In kare koro.
Yeah, koro duogo.
Okay. Cielo amae.
Kaka ma important ahinya.
En ong'adi kamarai.
Riwori kod thum. Kaka ma
Dakika
important
achiel
sana.
olal. Dakika achiel. Odia. Koro baton emimanyo ka.
Iwinja?
Awinji jike. Okay, there we go. Yeah.
Waduoke chien.
Samoro gitiyoga buttons koro.
Ma donge. Wang'eyo anyuol. Iluongo. Joka. Those people.
Kagitiyogiga koro itemo koni gi koni. Nyaka iluong juogi ka giti.
Wadhi mondo anyisi gimomiyo wachak gi they believe in this world. Point ni en very important.
My polo.
They bear no illusions of life after death. Not illusions. Illusions. Most. Illusions. Okay, illusions is different. They bear no illusions of life after death. Their only hope for eternity lies in procreation. Bedo kod nyithindo kamane kakibo last forever, or the society continuing going. Emomi abomedo, emomi ok ging'ad, ok gidhi nyange. They cannot attack their sexual organs because that is the only way they exist forever. Or can watch P and all these things. Actually, this ideology is based upon life, not upon death. Ideology Majo Luo is based upon life. Madi Polo is based upon death. Ibo Yudo everything after he said Thor. So death is the major thing. Mabo me all these rewards. The Luo ideology believes in life, not death. Actually, creation and continuous procreation are therefore quite naturally of the highest importance. Creation and continuous procreation are quite naturally of the highest importance. Creation means life, and life is the only certainty and the only hope for eternity. Gibedo scientific kendo. As creation is the starting point of existence, and Juok, the obvious cause to creation, Juok appears to be the central figure in Luo cosmology as the key to the universe. Without Juok, no creation, no existence. No creation, no existence. The Luos and their world exist thanks to Juok. The Luo acknowledge this fact, and in any case, they would never forget it. However, the Luos do not praise Juok for its creation. One reason for this attitude, Koro Owachon Otemorango, but in near the fact, may be the fact that Juok is for a Luo an invisible matter, even in the imagination. Akiako donjo, wari wind, this last part. The fact that Juok is for Luo an invisible matter, even in the imagination. Koro. A second point is the human tendency to complain about hardship rather than to remember charity. But the real reason may root itself in the belief that creation is wanted by Juok and is not a gift to the humans. So, but only the world exists and plants exist. And because Juok is doing what it does. Remember Juok onge consciousness, okay, ngamabet kuroto achon, let there be light. And ochal computer ma create to or crunch numbers. Mane TJ. Ama computer ma gine data. Ma process data. And obo process data kadano ntie kata dano onge mane TJ. So wacho, ni creativity and TJ Juok. Emomi joluo ok praise Juok. Emomi ok giyuag ne Juok. Nikech Juok create, okay, na gift to the humans. Example maber en kaka kirango the planets. Ntie planets mang'eny. Piny ka, lobni en very unique kaka entie. But ntie planets moko mothuo onge kata but mago be olos. To kata kirango the kaka giluonge ni the planetary system. The Earth ok oduong kaka Jupiter gi Saturn giri. So mano nyiso ni kata gima ne create gigi ok ne par ni nyaka this Earth is so special and it is the center of the universe kaka ne nyiso wago. And no create different things. Jupiter, Saturn, Neptune ok chal. Ok gichal. Mars, the moon, Earth ok gichal. So kineno system ma create gigi eno create. Mane TJ en bedo ang'isi joluo kin so scientific makata joma nokawo science ma luo ni bochako wacho ni koro gichako argue about God. Mano tij nyithindo. Nikech the ideology was clever. Bedo ni kata ok ginyal imagine kaka juok chal. Mago gik ma jomoko mawuondre ka onge gimoro ni ng'ato ok nyal golo image mar Nyasaye. Mago gik ma ne giwinjo ka gibiro Ethiopia. Eka gidok go
Mhm.
kucha ilo kucha ka giwacho ni ok inyal loso image mar Nyasaye. Mago gik ma ne giwinjo nikech kidok history gi tibo neno gin gi images mar Nyasaye ma giwacho no.
Mhm.
Mana ka ne gidonjo Afrika, giromo kod paro no. Eka gidok kuro gilokre. To kata kaka ne gidonjo mago be evidence nitie. Aya. Wadhi mbele. So, wacho, but the real reason may root itself in the belief that creation is wanted by Juok and it is not a gift to the humans. In this firm belief that creation is not only caused but wanted by the power of Juok may be found the other positive quality of Juok, which is the quality of justice.
Mm.
Koro wadonjo e gimomiyo joluo ohero justice. Ok miriambo mawanyisre ga Kenya kanu wan jomohero justice. Nemomiyo wadhiga in the street. Mano, that is not it. Nikech koro wawuoyo about Luo itself.
Mm.
Wacho ni, justice can be said to be the only almost religious belief of the Luos. Juok is not a belief, it is a matter of fact, documented by the existence and proved by experience. Okay, in science, man.
Very scientific.
But why should Juok also be a matter of justice?
It has evidence. So it's very scientific.
But Openjo, why should Juok be a matter of justice? The question is intriguing because we gave a rather neutral interpretation of the term Juok by simply calling it principle of creation. And it shall become even more intriguing once we learn that Juok usually is held responsible for all injustice committed on earth. Luo indifferent.
Nekoro kamodhi.
Luo indifferent.
Juok is again
Oh,
responsible for the amount of injustices done in the world.
because it is what is creating.
This is the creator in a
No, 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 no,
sense.
no.
It doesn't matter.
No, 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 no.
Doesn't look at
No. It is no, George. Kikiwachini, it is the creator, mano religious thinking. Or Giwachoni, it is the creator.
no one.
Giwachoni, it is the principle of
It's creative
creation.
principle of creation. Yes.
Yes, mine is very, very, very important. Kiwachoni.
But it's intriguing, the statement,
Mm.
me, it is the one thing again that is responsible for the all the injustices done in the world.
But it is still from its creation, podwa yudo the element of justice. Luo deep.
So where does it branch? Where does it
It
branch?
does not
Leave
branch.
alone, leave alone
It
the no wait,
mm,
wait, leave alone the justice that we're talking about today. Awinjo kamiwacho na, the justice we're talking about the deep justice, that the original justice that were before they met these things that diluted some of the things, right?
mm.
So if it is the principle of creation that again is responsible for all the injustices that are done, at what point now, or we the let me put it this way, the I'm looking, just a minute, I'm looking for how to frame my question. So Juogi are just part of a broad understanding of existence, and the unseen dimensions of life, right?
Ebono I can do that point. Jogi.
Okay, the way you are explaining it, is it right
Mm.
if I say Juogi?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awinji. Awinji.
Ramotinja.
Awinji.
Ramotinja.
Awinji. Awinji ma clear.
Yeah, so number one thing from what you're saying, understand spirits because vision come right
Mm-hmm.
now, but it is we could what a broader um, understanding of existence, memory, presence, ancestry, nature, and the unseen dimensions of life, right? And they literally represent a way our ancestors explained these relationships between living, the departed, land, the moral order. Does that explain what Juogi is in the original
No.
context?
No, no, no. You know, all that you've said
Hmm.
is European thinking.
Okay,
Okay, you know, you watch all those things. You watch all, it is the principle of creation.
good. It's good because it's coming from someone who is listening. So
No, no, no. This is, yes, yes. This, Mami Nawacho, this is very, very important. Okay, this is why I was saying when we were reading the other time, this is where you start to understand why these people had to bring mathematics. Because now they're talking about mathematical concepts.
Sorry, yeah.
Marco is the best way Minyalo explained what they were thinking about Juok.
Mhm.
It is so technical. It is a principle of creation. Money is all they're saying. The mana do wachoni. Ki wachoni, this the car moves. It drives. But ntie a principle of motion. Magin nyaka an equation for motion. The mass, nyaki add some force, ekobo move. Tontie resistance. Mm. Mane majoluo temo wuoyo. This is more how you. This is the easiest way to say it. Ki worry about joke as the principle. Gimomi ogiwachon it is. The Luo say it. They don't. It is Ngani, the
Yes,
Kako mean that this guy who is writing it.
I'm alerting.
Yeah. Who gets more confused.
Okay, no, I'm alerting them to now listen to it again properly.
Mm. Justice, in this firm belief that creation is not only caused but wanted by the power of Juok, may be found this other positive quality of Juok, which is the quality of justice. Justice can be said to be the only, almost religious belief of the Luos. Mano is their only religious belief in justice.
Mhm.
Juok is not a belief. It is a matter of fact, documented by existence and proved by experience. Okay? Mhm.
Very
But
scientific.
why should Juok also be a matter of justice? Openjre, right? Openjre. The question is intriguing because we gave a rather neutral interpretation of the term Juok by simply calling it a principle of creation. By principle, I mean it is it is the algorithm of creation. A simpler way, and if you put your computer on, there's an algorithm that puts energy into it, and that energy puts the thing on. That is what a simpler explanation of the principle. Okay? What's your name? Principle of creation, and it shall become even more intriguing once we learn that Juok is usually held responsible for all injustice committed on earth. The answer may be double. In a world of terror and unfairness, there is an urgent need for justice. And if injustice cannot be obtained, there must be the hope for another kind of justice. And if justice cannot be obtained, there must be the hope for another kind of justice. Juok would be the only instance for such a hope to be projected. The other and possibly deeper reason may be found in creation. Creation is a positive, constructive act realized by Juok. Any injustice committed could be understood as an aggression towards existence and thus towards Juok. If Juok exists, as much as the Luos believe, the committed injustice would certainly be expurgated, corrected, and possibly even compensated. If Juok exists, which is a principle. These ancestors.
Ramoto,
Uh,
actually, the illustration of the movement of a car, the motion aspect, has really clarified what he was asking. I think he says that motion, the engine, the wheels, the road interaction, which amounts to motion. He says you have really simplified it in a way that he understands it better.
Okay. Not bad. And it gets more interesting. My mommy, when we have a chance to look at Juok mathematically, scientifically, it will be very interesting what the Luos were observing. My mommy yoga, I say, and I'm really, really convinced these people have been here for more than 100,000 years. Some of these concepts take so long to digest them, but it makes sense. You have to observe something, a phenomenon, for a very long time.
For a long time.
A very, very long time. And mommy, you know, these modern civilizations, everything winds up to God. Why? Kirango, these civilizations, they have not. European civilization, how long has it been around? Okay, more than 800 years. The Japanese ones, Mokoma woke Asia. Okinyal migi, kakim migi mangen. The time Egypt was alive, they were not even organized. The time Nubia was running things, China was not even organized. India was not. Warabu gikoro kikiwache. Magikoro
Why does it wind up?
nyoro.
Why does their civilization eventually winds up to God? Is it to avoid it's not scientifically, it cannot be scientifically explained. Mondo kiki penj penjo. Kenya sayo kupenjga penjo.
No. These observations to be confirmed, kakano wacho, documented by existence and proved by experience. Long experience.
Yeah, but what is their civilization? Why does it wind up?
Emma Wacho, this is what I'm saying. Must be Nyakobed documented by existence and proved by experience. And this type of concept about how the cosmos theo needs long observations. But the society nyaka organize itself in terms of certain parts of the society. That is all they do. Momio kidonjo Sudan,
Mhm.
kidonjo Egypt. Gik ma giluongo ni temples ka, makawa universities, houses of learning.
Mhm.
Houses of learning. Nikech ne ging'eyo ni to come to evidence, nyaka we observe the world for a long, long time. Eka waboneno joke over periods. Emomiyo ang'isi, it is very evident ni Luos have been here for hundreds of thousands of years. Mondo gidistill such a thing, right now is when you start understanding it, kichako rango things with the modern scientific tools, intellectual tools and physical tools. Kichako neno what these people were saying. Some in Africa, before, Kwerewa were doing some very interesting things. Very interesting things. Last time, Manawa worry about Nilots, to give a they come from somewhere in Turkana, Lake Turkana.
Mhm.
There's a specific reason Gimomio Negi choose that area.
Mhm.
There's a thing. Kamoro milongo na Muratunga.
Mhm.
Inyalo keto igine. Inyalo keto i Google alafu igine no. Ibosomo no kotiko ka. Nikake na Muratunga. Alafu ine gima biro. Aya. Wadhi mbele kidogo. Chopo winjie ka. After any injustice, timre.
Ibiro some kitieko aseng'iso
Katieko.
jorieko moko ka paro ng'iye.
Existence, goes on after gisewacho, expurgated, corrected, and possibly even compensated. Existence is stronger than the human individual. It is impossible to cheat. Existence itself, the capacity for things to exist, ama the state of being that things exist, is stronger than the human individual. Okay. It is impossible to cheat. Okay. We'll break it down, Martin. Kama. Existence, kata trees nige existence. But kiwe a tree kanyo for a long time. Onyalo exist longer than human beings, generations kadha. Gicha nyalo go kata 800 years. Kaber. Onyalo go 400 years. Onyalo go more than 100 years. Elwa.
Egi kawa.
Negi kwanyi. Trees nyalo last longer, more than 200 years, more than 300 years. Kowegi, and everything Magi need is there. So mano one example, mawachon, existence itself is stronger than the human individual. Okay, because why exist? One and everything is measured by our existence. Kaka human beings. Makata time, measure kata BCAC, BCAD. He measured life mangato, not by historical circumstances. After the death of Christ, before Christ. Amen. But the existence of measure time come on. Existence of measure time come on. So it is impossible to cheat. So giwachoga for example giwachoga juok bo wuoyo kode or commonly juok ntie. So ineno ok giwuo about juok as a god or revenge. Giwuo about a specific principles within the principles make existence. Ninti cause and effect. Giwuo about cause and effect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kagiwacho njuok ntie maneka ok gimin ntie mzee moro malo kucha mabo revenge kuom ng'ano. Tinde winjo ga nwaloke Nyasaye ntie. Nyasaye nene. Gino gimin Nyasaye nene.
Nyasaye neni.
Ineno gimitimono. Kendo en very technical gima giwacho. Nikech juok is the cause of something to happen. And the principle ma cause something to happen. Niki mitimono, it will have an effect. Nikech wani existence.
Penjo na Ramoth ni
Okay.
ni gimowachono, how do we relate it with karma? Because Mano is a totally different
Mago
thing.
religious thinking. Mano is not how Luos saw the world.
Exactly.
Mano is an Indian way of looking at the world. Magi civilizations manyoro. Mane momio we are very confused. Marwa is more dynamic. Karma no means ni inene okine the principles of cause and effect kaka joluo wache. Nikech gi understand how creativity works. Iwacho ni gigi bo duogo, bo round, bo duogo. It will come back to you. History mwasomono. Where did it come back to the people who did wrong?
Nothing. They went
that is why this story was important. Or break that idea. Majogi oketono. What happened to the bad?
The people who
What happened to the bad?
he learned to fly without patching. He learned to fly without patching.
The first story, it seems there was a curse. Okay. The second story, there was an exchange. The third story, there was nothing. Aneno ka gine moro go ka. So in case I disappear in here, ngan gini onjawa. Emomi ogiwacho existence is stronger than the human individual. Akete mo
Gisramoth ni I may be running ahead of myself, but when does he deem fit to teach this thing he has been asking? He has never told us the Luo creation story.
Mano nwaneno. Why it was important. Nipo kwa wache. Nikech koro wan gi so many charlatans. To mane kaka wayudo giga. So kwa chako punjo gi this thing to gibo bira with that and to gibo chako prove ni gini the real thing. To are all with this nonsense. So wamanyo kaka wanyalo chopo a time makoro wanyalo bet kaka jo ot and we really go deep. We really go deep. And it seems deep. But actually Luo is like eight times deeper than this. If not more. The other part watching it was a process. To bring the person into Luo and understand these principles, neka a very long time. Neka a very long time. No kaka we waringo. Wadoki kama, wadok koni. It is very clear what they are trying to say. Magia daily explanations. Meaning that there will be justice. and or that there is a principle in existence itself which reacts whenever it is not respected. Winje kaka owacho ka. Juok means creator, owacho quote in quote creator. Alafu owacho, but more energetically, juok means justice. Our jump nikech obedo more technical. Nitie point ma giwacho ka. Wacho ni, the Luos do not ask heaven for more than justice. For they want nothing but they are by creation given right to exist. Luos want nothing but their right to exist.
That is key, Ramot. They want nothing but their
Their
right
right
to
to
exist.
exist. And that is why they ask for justice. Because they have some rights inside of existence. Existence has rights. It is so technical, man. You'd look time around, they deal with the word like a court. In the story, no achonade. After the Ghanaian no kwalo the tail, no achonade. I will take you to court. The goat on is a giraffe. I will take you to court.
Okno, you will see me. You will see me. You will see what I will do.
Oknowacho ni aboteri mbele jodongo. No, he didn't say
Court.
this. I will take you to court.
Justice.
Emomi the giraffe ran into the wilderness. Emomi after Serengo from the wilderness or the cas. Emomi now actually, can you understand how the Luo worldview works? Then the stories make a lot of sense. If not, they seem like haphazard stories mocked together, in which they do not have. Once upon a time, there was a prince who lived in a castle, and blah 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 blah. Kata kiwoki make Europeans gitidi katama Alibaba. There was once a trader. Kidi make India same. Kidi make same fairy tales. But Maggie folk tales. Again, Joko Ben folk tales. But make the law is folk tales. Okay. George, wa pause ka. Okay, Opo made a bit technical, and the more what it do just gets more sad. The best way I know to say scientific. That's the easiest word man. It is so well thought of and well observed of the environment, man. But take of that. What they're asking for justice. So the story, about justice. Okay, show me some scenarios that are very different. But Kaka justice Bedo achieved is very different. Emomi Okataine no the millipede king is any. Have you not heard what he's saying? Okideka ginetimbrene and smart boy. Smart. Argentini logo again smart something. Jokuego. Smart something. So the bad team recommend to the millipede put appeal to justice. So I will follow him wherever he goes. Put this principle ma cause and effect. Boy, you the one time or another. And very interesting. George was here Gimoron kids. Oendelea bit na mate, but oendelea bit technical.
Are we jara?
Kendo Maler.
Oh, okay.
Awe Maler.
Awe manano kwanya.
And man, I'm muted, Martin.
Ramoth, there is a point, ma. I think this is personal from me, and I think we would. I would want, especially our fellow cultural champions, to connect it or understand it. Um, Briefly, interconnect for us. That justice, the first, let me use the word the first justice because it's totally different from the current justice that we do. When we talk about justice right now, in our daily lives as we speak now, ma wanyalo rwako kar gini e wiwa, um, luongo nang'o? Ka bech mogo idho, to we go to the street nikech wadwaro ni bech mogo dog piny. Ka wadwaro. But the thing is, as much as there is this yearning for justice, and it's an existence that Luo is more so concerned with justice. And you've just mentioned, in fact, to them, they want nothing except for them to exist. There is the right to exist. They have that's all. They want a right to exist, but they want nothing much so long as they feel there is justice. But at the same time, this justice is never normally realized. Katamna in the folk tale, these guys were not punished. The bird is up there. The millipede is suffering in the ground. The giraffe is in the wilderness, wiggling its tail, beautiful long tail. Also, ngarego e gine kucho, wild kucho, as much as orango. But at what point, what is the connection between the Luos who still have a long way to go? They have to get to the process for them to understand the deeper meaning of the Luo village and possibly immerse themselves into the Luo village. What is the connection between the justice that we're talking about? If we talk about it today, we know we are not connected properly with the first justice, as it were, that the way it was. It was designed. Let me use the word designed.
What?
Connect for us, the
Just
current
what?
Luo person
Mhm,
who may not have a very deep connection
mhm.
with the first justice, but they're talking about justice. What is the connection?
George Bupenja one more time. Most ne gimoro donji uma Martin.
Okay. So
Noya the way ni
remember,
penje. The way ni penje.
yeah.
Ni
Yeah. So the question
mhm,
is, there is the first
mhm,
justice, right? Ma, it's actually deep to understand
mhm,
because it's the just actually it is in the one that is in the folk
mhm,
tale, but it wasn't realized. Those people went scot-free.
mhm,
They were not
mhm,
punished. Now, fast forward, we have Luos who are living in the 21st century, but possibly more so, they are more geographical. It's not the Luo village we're
mhm,
talking about. It's more
mhm,
geographical. Okay? They are scattered all over the world, but wherever they are, be it in Kenya,
mhm,
forget about the
mhm,
world. A Luo in Mombasa, a Luo in Busia, a Luo in Kisumu, a Luo in
mhm,
Mandera, those will always raise up
mhm.
something. When there is something they feel is not okay, they will talk. They will raise it up. What is the interconnect for us, this current justice and its achievement, if at all, and with the first justice that speaks to the deepest
Mhm,
consciousness of the Luo
mhm.
community and that is greatly connected to the existence of that first
Okay.
justice as it were, as it was
Mhm.
designed. Yes.
First justice podo exist. Yabo chako kan. First justice podo exist. Pare kaka na wuoyo about the car. No, about motion. No, motion of the car, locomotion. Onyalo move. Onyalo locate from one location to another. Onyalo locomote. Hmm. Koro kaw kama. There are two divides karka. One understands the science of locomotion, understand the principle of locomotion. what is necessary, how it works, how it goes, what it affects. The other one, an item that locomotes. But to understand how it works. Okay. In short, our chokamo.
Fair enough.
The benefit of Bedo Jaluo in the system Mabedo Jaluo is you learn all these things. Kaka locomotion itself happens. So inyalo locomote anything you put your mind to. The person ma only anything that locomotes, watching gari, but has no idea how this thing comes about. Okonyal timo anything with it. Onyalo just own the car. To Gino Kolwar, he does not know what to do with it. Among the science of locomotion, nyalo locomote many things. Ochako locomote robots. Ochako locomote machines. Because gichako move. Ochako locomote different things. Because Koro understand juogi, understand the science of creativity. Understand kaka creation as an impact. Nyalo loko gari, nyalo loso ot, nyalo loso machine. Manage the difference. Manage justice mokwongo miwachono. Understanding it gives you the reason why things work. The second one, sama jowa moko noromo gari to wacho ni majuok nikech the gari moves, but it okay how it moves. But obo wacho ni majuok. The first ones ne wacho ni majuok. Gini tiyo kod juok. Nikech kaka gini burn gas and okay. But we are not so far removed from our ancestors in that sense. Okumin nikoro sani wakao pes barabara wanyeo go Prado. We understand how Prados are made. So one is the second emepenjo. Walungen the second justice. Emajoa mangengo hero. But they think owning the Prado means you're equal to the person who makes the Prado. Prado. Ibo watching not choose some particular people. Owning the vehicle, or owning the plane, or owning the machine, the gas cooker, the washing machine. Ninyalo de binyewe means the same as somebody who won't get the washing machine in out, but onyalo make it from the instance. Onyalo make it from juok. Nikech parie. Existence is far above the human individual. Obotio juok. Nikech juok is the existence of even the minerals and the metals, mabol also the machine. Okonyal bet spirits. Imagine everything comes into kata the machine, kata the minerals, kata the metals, kata the fluids, the oil, mago juokte. But ngama understand the juok in it, kaka joluote much, and go opportunity ma to all those things and transforming them. Get into that technical aspect. It is the principle of creation. Giwacho gimadonka giwacho the principle of creation. Giwacho ngama tiyo understand ni juoke machako gigi to juoke gigi to nyalo tiyo gigo loso gimoro. Bolos gari nikech juok to ntie. And are very different. Jogi ne nyalo loso pyramids, George, to wanotamo. And we have the same blood. To kata kaka negitimo that engineering work, manowacho negilongo ni magic. We do not understand nyaka sani with all the mathematics ma computer. Kata jomoloso kata Elon Giri ok nyal ng'isi in how these things were moved. To magi joma move rockets. Kaka gicha duong'. Gi move rocket from kamolose to kamidhi odhi launch here. But pod ok inyal gisi
Not
neno that
explain.
level of mathematics. Otamogi. That level of mathematics. Makoro gibet kaka jo India koro giwacho magino bedo lost with aliens. Ok humans mano understand juok to a very high level. Magi nyalo tiyo kode koro, inyalo transform it. Emomiyo ne to joluo machon, it was not Nyasaye, then you cannot transform it, you cannot use it to make things. So money is the first justice. Mitne and it is still there. Because pyramids are there. Nison nkata joluo, by extension jo Africa, ginyalo chopo but ineno kata kowacho gigi, mind is so taken away. Every time kiwacho gigi tidhi kama, yani okinyal stay in the Luo mindset. Not mindset, worldview. Mindset and different. Worldview. Your story is written the way it is written. It is a story, but it is a puzzle. Kineno gini from the second justice Tiboacho. Why are these things not paid? Why did the giraffe just run away from court? Why did they just not go to Nikechongi sees something about that world of creation. Only see something deeper than just the cause and effect mineno. Levels of cause and effect. In every one of these stories, there's cause and effect. Jogi no biro with a very, very clear thing. And the cause was just one. Give it to the party. Give it to the celebration, the wedding celebration. And then the effects of all these actions is very different. Ko add the intention or add a different intention. The intention to the creation. So at the back of it, Jomakorontie, the Luo village, do you understand what this means? The intention behind the thing, Sami creating, is also an element in the creation. And the result will be different. Atem kete simply gimajog watching. As much as Ngatobedo the observer of the phenomenon, the intention of the observer will contribute to what is observed and what is seen. A me example. Chiengmoro ni go one story kabi wachone. Idhi kod min ot to a wedding. But the things she was noticing at the wedding and the things you were noticing at the wedding are very different. But walk karachieli ot, budi together, buduogo together. But gikmongisi, the clothes manorwak, the colors, if they were nice and matching, the materials, if they were good. Gikma for you, they do not, your mind is not even there.
The food.
Not only the food, is the taste of the food.
Yeah, the different types.
Kaka mchele no was not really well cooked. Inni chama mchele. Kaka it was too spicy. Inni chama mchele could ringo and it was good and they made us order and everything was nice.
How was the wedding? Good. That's it.
No imagine so in terms of this, the people who are creating, their intention is important. Okay, all of them samanegidikwa or something. the thoughts that Negibiro go after had really different effects and different repercussions. So it is not a problem to be solved. The story of Kumi a problem to be solved. You know why was the giraffe not ineno kako rumo? But somehow aren't the problem to be solved. Podwani our other people thinking. Kirango make stories make was okay. Once upon a time, this happened and they lived happily ever after. Katakine movies make India, movies make China, movies make America. Very rarely, everybody died. And the villain continued living happily ever after. So waseka of this format in our thinking, waseka of these scripts, Makware no kata story make Luo git. Whatever. Where's the ending? Why was the giraffe not punished? Mommy unachako story ni kwa penjo gi story na unachako mbaka ni kwa penjo gi the girls. What happens now? Nkech manobo trigger the no nego trigger our desire to solve it. Makuruko biri story to our desire to solve it bo blind as to what kwerewa wacho. Kwere gito penji, give me a very puzzle. Give me another puzzle. Intellectual puzzle. What with the word intellectual? But maparo. And such a situation happened. Injo kaka story na chako. The man, the giraffe, and the bird were going to this thing. And the giraffe went to the goat. Osekiti in the situation. Onge entertainment.
Right.
This is what is happening.
Right in the first sentence, already you say
Yes.
Kitty situation.
This is what is happening. What is happening? What is happening in this situation?
Okochak in the far
No,
land.
in the far away story, there once lived a giraffe
Once
and a man.
upon a time in the far land.
Kendine no akajowa.
And then
No akajowa write these stories to gichako kaman. Kata kegi wacho ni write our Luo stories, but no use that format. Onego wasom some of them. Some of them
once
pretty
upon a
soon. Wane kaka gichako. But telo anyalo kele. Makawono was a bit technical, but amit. Get now we work on front to do a thought.
But exactly that I think that's what is really intriguing for me. And penjo noni the connection between the first and I think we've just adopted those first justice and second justice. But the one thing that I've also realized is that yes, we've picked the rhythm from our ancestors. We may not do it the way and are not actually don't even understand it, leave alone doing it, understanding it. We may not go deep into the consciousness and understand that existence. But we picked this justice thing that in it doesn't matter where someone is, but they will say something if something is not okay. But the difference is we always create a problem and we are looking for a solution. But the first justice, the way it exists, it is justice. It is justice. That's it. It has got you just have a right of existence. But that's it. But I think as we are concerned with so many things, kaka sani koro dukoro wasedhi e barabara wadwa ni jirafo mak. Okonya luondre no en bungu to en gi yu ng'ato. Mano onge. Jiraf nyaka mak. kendo wan e barabara. To winyo bende ok bi wuondre, kendo wanyalo ing'e fomtil. Ing'e gima iluongo fomtil? Ing'e ni inti kia gigo. Mago jotuore. Ing'e fomtil Ramoth?
Atiang'o?
Fomtil.
Ai.
Fomtil
Tuoro miwa nafas.
ilose kama. Ilose kama. Ikawo, there is a piece of wood ma oloso the letter Y. Ineno the letter Y. A very strong piece of wood to loso the letter Y. To nitie kaka ikawo ing'e gine mar ndiga, motive mar ndiga.
Yani idwa ng'iso wan waluongo gin fea kata chuviu. Waluongo gin fea.
Fea en maru fea en maru mukia go sero ka. Marwa en fomtil mwang'e go sero ka. So, awacho ni sani di koro waselo mtil wamanyo winyo because we want justice for currently, as it were. So in short, anyway, and that was just about the way, but I'm saying the connection is there, but the journey is so long until we get to a point where now, and I think this brings me to the creation story. I think the creation story will only get to a point where now Jomose wuotho that long journey, through all those processes, mang'eny ka. May I say nodonjo village. There are some privileged information makoro because they will understand it, having gone through the long journey of going back to the village. The village we are knitting, the village, the Ramogi Cultural Institute for Luo Heritage Research and Education is knitting back piece by piece more. Because until we understand these other pieces, how are we going to understand the creation story of Luo? Because kata mana gik miwacho kawuono kende matin. There is no God, my Polo. There is no God, because God then it will force you to try change him into something. Our ancestors didn't change anything to make anything. They believed it existed, and it existed. You don't need to explain it. Juogi exists. It works. But we may not understand it. Otherwise, kawadwa wacheka koran gara moto wacho juogi to gidwa be explained as spirits. To koro nitie spirits mabeyo to nitie spirits maricho bende, kendo idwaro pogno. Kaeto the ng'wech dok e biblos. Then complications. Ramo nade. Aparo ni kawuono omit to
ineno kata gimi wacho no. Kwerewa ok nyal wacho kata nok gipar there is no God. Mano Europeans. Gin giwuoyo about juok. Concept ma is God or not, they are past that. They are completely past
Correct.
that. Gin gisene our world view itie juok, but we do not worship it. Nikech makoro nyaki wuo kod nyaki wuo kod the European in you. In case George is the European implanted in you. Every one of us, until with the European implanted in us. More of us, or some of us want multiple personality. Anja India, Kendanmus, Lamu, Kendanmu, Magitagin personalities. Or gin just beliefs and personalities. So by the time the real you, the Luo you, or say go boxing kanyoma katawiyo konyal gondo. No, odoro resurrection. Example, I mean, called Kamane no katawacho ni we are scattered. No one scattered. Luos have never been scattered. Luos are some of the most widespread people in Africa. Completely widespread. And that is just their natural state. In 8 countries,
Yeah.
numbering almost 20 million, and it is okay. And they did not scatter because of Europeans or other people. It was just them. Joma, people who are seeking knowledge and understanding, developing mathematics and sciences of understanding nature. They have to travel and see more of nature. Kise realize how your nature is around you. Being new, you're a knowledge seeker. You have to travel to other places. In Kechika, if you are living near the lake is not everywhere. You want to go to the desert, the mountains, and see and learn, because that is the core of your culture. That is really the core of your culture. So we Luos are like that from the beginning. They have been like this. They have been like this. So their scatteredness is not really. Okanya lot on it is something is puzzling. That is really them. And that is Katarina are not only Luos, knowledge seekers. When Europeans became knowledge seekers, they went everywhere. And they keep doing this. Still want to go to the moon and Mars and Gigot. And characteristic of that mind that finds this place very interesting. Jolu, they believe in this world. Because Poki finished learning about this one. Tineno, Mondo Europeans will make advancement. They had to lock themselves to this one. Manyaka, they are so-called, the science part of it had to say there is no God. Mondo, you focus on here. You focus on Polo. Because to them it was not an argument if God exists. It was a strategy for focusing on here. It was a strategy of focusing on Ka. Now to the last time, even their Adam and Eve story, to them is not about being chased out of a garden. It is the beginning of creating your world. When so-called God, the highest power in the world, in their world, or be from his goodness, you still have to create your world. And mommy again so motivated to create Gari, to create Ndege, to create, because now they are creating their own Ndege, which God is not invited, and their own, which God is not invited. Noriambo Garden. So Gi use that story not as Kakanyoro Niwachon. Women were the cause. Manoko bad again. It is the thing we were learning today. The intentions the people put after the story. What do you do with the intention? We give into the story, and okay, we were chased out of our garden. Let us create our own. But at that point, Ekumagichopo, where our ancestors already were. Ekagichako donjo. Our ancestors are already there. We have Juok. It is the principle of creation. And that is all. Now the rest we have a sphere of humanity that we have to take care of. That is why they named this insistence of human consciousness. They say, no, we have been on conscious. Now it is in the Luo worldview, the human being is at the middle, meaning what he has to do, what he has to become. But meaning even they create a village where there's ox names, which has a purpose. And a very interesting world. Jogi kanoro mokode kama. By the time Manegibiro Egypt, Manegibiro Sudan, Bagiromo with the worldview. Negiringo kode. It is us who don't realize. Negiringo kode seriously, thoroughly, seriously. One time Wabo go through those what they say, Kanegi Biro, Sudan, Egypt, what they saw. We think more coming is by Jomano Biro as explorers. The people who came as explorers, Negi some of those books. Kagibiro discover Lake Victoria. Negi some of those books, kucha. But that is a story for another day. Why we any more the next time one else do.
Uh, the journey back, Ramoth, it will take time, as it will take, I see us taking the same amount of time we take to re-understand ourselves, who we are, or who we should be. Because I'm seeing myself with the journey that the ancestors and the elders have put me through as an individual, which I'm still very far away from. A lot of work to be done. Yet we have been influenced by a number of things. Globalization has changed a lot of things, how we see. There is a big issue on how our ancestors perceived their world, how we see the world now. Mix them up a lot. But I believe that the future does their roots, nor those who reject change. It belongs to those who can firmly stand on their heritage while engaging confidently with whatever confronts them today. Journey back to the Luo consciousness is not a journey backward in time. That's what I believe. It's a journey inward. It's a journey towards understanding who we are beneath our layers, despite the winds of whatever is happening in the modern world, what we may call the modern world today. We are the rhythm of our ancestral journeys. We, myself, yourself, and our cultural champions who listen to us here every single time we have a program like this. We are the rhythm of our ancestral journey. It can never be anywhere else. These deep stories, these intertwined stories, maybe to some of us, this is the only place we can have them. We thank you and we need you to help us decipher. Most of the things I talk to Ramoth as he speaks are from you. We've learned not to be naming names, and so is asking this, so is asking this. Sometimes I don't even say someone is said. I just talk to Ramoth, but it's from a number of you guys. We like the dialogue that is happening as Ramoth speaks, because then it makes us understand and know that he is speaking to our hearts, because then we take time to ask questions. And I'm not in any way they are not listening. No. In a class of 40, not everybody must carry up their hands every day to ask questions. So our opening, you are opening a new frontier. To be honest with you, the current Luos are very proud people to be Luo. what we're simply doing is to inflate the ancestral understanding into being a Luo today. We're just awakening the ancestral consciousness in us. It was stolen from us. It's not our mistake. And also let me make it clear that as we speak or explain some of these things, especially I don't explain Ramoth as Ramoth explains them, because I host Ramoth. And as you send in your queries, you send in comments and I bring them out to Ramoth and we learn. He is simply awakening part of us that was stolen away, that was given the wrong information. And I repeat, read the books, become professors, become doctors, achieve. That is the greatness of a Luo. But that should just form part of who you are. The bigger job is in connection with your ancestry. I always tell people here in these programs, different ones, I never know which ones, but I always say, you can make a 9-aside highway in a Thika road going the other side. And you leave for us bicycle paths going home. We will still go home. We'll ride and we'll go home. Those people who are good, but they know why they go home when they have to go home. There is no ritual they are going to perform. No. It is that consciousness, Ramoth, that you've talked about today. That walk. The moment they land in their ancestral lands and homes, they're just fine. They're not doing it. Sitting in the trees, under the trees in their homes, chatting, aunties coming, uncles coming, them going to their grandfathers' homes, visiting them, talking to them. I've watched that a lot. I've done a lot of research in it. There is no ritual they do. But it doesn't matter how. They will take 3 days, 4 days on the road between Naivasha and Limuru and Nakuru. They don't care. They will go. Very few Luo bodies get buried in Langata. Ask yourself why. When SM Otieno died in 1986, it took 6 months. His body took 6 months in the mortuary. Wamboyo Otieno kwerni, Otieno to ja Kenya, iko kata Kenya. Ng'ani ja Kenya, iko kata Ngong. Umira Kagir okwerni over our dead bodies. Otieno iko Nyalgunga. It happened. Mzee Seranga was asked a question by the judge. That is what broke the whole thing. I think I've said it before, but for those people who didn't hear. Omolo Seranga was an elder in Umira Kagir clan. And he was asked by Kaminwa, John Haminwa, he's still alive today, still practicing law. Ask him, but you visited these people in their home in Upper Matasi and Ngong. And the elder said, no, I didn't go to their home. I went to their house in Ngong. That was Otieno's house. It was not Otieno's home. They want Kagir. Thank you, Ramoth, for always having been there for us. These things are deep. These things are stories that are not stories. We don't just tell folk tales as stories. They are wisdom that live with us. We're picking them up from the past. They
Ah,
make sense today as they made sense many years ago.
moso uda
Thank
kuom
you,
ng'adi
Ramoth. Thank you.
nadwa wacho ni yudo na muratunga cha.
Yes. Oh, where is it?
Ni yude.
Mi ng'ato miyo jomoko ka ero gimiya wang'iya ni na maratunga. By the way, wado wil gi na maratunga. Okay. Idwano asome.
Kama wacho gima ne giyudo kanyo.
Okay, I hope this is en nyaka gi pichni moko kama very nice. Namaratunga, also known as the Kalokol Pillar Site, is an ancient archaeological site on the western shores of Lake Turkana in northwestern Kenya, consisting of 19 basalt pillars. The megalithic site is famous for its deliberate astronomical alignments. It's an archaeoastronomical site. Researchers suggest the stone pillars were used as prehistoric stellar observatory or calendar. The alignments. The 19 pillars are non-randomly oriented towards specific stars and constellations, including Triangulum, Pleiades, and Orion. Cultural connection. The alignment corresponds to a 12-month, 354-day lunar calendar. The same celestial systems are still used today by modern Eastern Cushitic people in the region to
Very
track
good.
time,
Manoromo.
age.
Oromo. Eloromo.
Bas, yeah.
Onge
Number two.
gimoni Kushaitic. Onge gimoro gichako riambo. Onge
Yeah.
gimoni Kushitic. Mago gik ma gi invent later. Emomiyo gitemo keto kanyo with Nilotic. Emomiyo ne giwacho Nilotic. Joluo tich gi tek.
Mm-hmm.
Joluo tich gi tek. Katieko. Ji mang'eny kata kiaga ni gino noyud Kenya. There's an astrological calendar
Ramot,
with 12
just a
months.
minute. Ramot seconds are you? But is it and gima omora and gima oro gima ma wacho just consciously. I just said it, but it's here. Meaning the word Namoratunga translates to people of stone in the Turkana language. That's not what I want to bring out. The site remains a sacred place where locals gather, particularly in December to seek divine intervention. Ma wacho the dalacha, whether you give us roads or not, we'll fly. We will fly home.
Juogi. Gowacho kan Africa ne nitie kata kalenda meke, kata joluo nitie kalenda margi. Wacho no Europeans ema no invent calendar. So, wadhi mbele. As we come to the conclusion of our session, wago erokamano so much. Thank you for being with us. We do not take it for granted. You are the message. You are the key. You are the one, the beloved of our ancestors. All the science, all the mathematics, all the knowledge, all the systems was just so that you can exist today. That is how much the ancestors have loved us. And hopefully, as you were talking about the children, that we may love the children that much. And not only for this, for one generation, but for 20, 30, 40, 50 generations coming. Just like we were saying with the calendar, that other people later have adopted. And now they're saying it is them who are the inventors. May we have things that we do that will affect our children generations later. And thousands of years. Muratunga was made in the BC, before Christ, according to their calendar. And Podenti and people still gather there. So may the things we do now be gathering places for the children, 50 generations, 60 generations, 100 generations to come. May they still find solutions and strength from that. Kamana for being here. It could have been anywhere in the world that you're here. Thank you so much. Even though Luo is scientific and pretty technical, but you bear with us. And for that, you should clap for yourself, because there's no entertainment that we are doing here. It's not really about the music. It's not about the things. It's more about love for the culture. Erokamano to Ramogi Cultural Institute for giving me always the opportunity to come again and share with our people that we have a lot of love for. And every time they call us to this, even when we are sick, when we are healthy, when we are tired, when we are not tired, when you're hungry, when you're full, we always want to come and do this and represent this. This is our heaven. My Poloa, and these things Moating is what will make us be remembered and make us exist in the Chunyu marriage. It is always worth it. That's why we do it almost daily, even through sickness and health. Erokamano sana again. I never tire of saying Erokamano, because I never take it for granted that you're there. How would it be helpful if I was the only one existing and everyone else is not there and they're dead? Manoken, the neatness of Luo. Neatness of Luo is we share. And kuon mwachamo together to kurum. Erokamano. Auda wa mi mundigi ilore. Erokamano.
Erokamano, thank you so much, JJ. Yeah, GK, not JJ, GK. I have a nephew called JJ or Olawi Goga Kukiwia. So if you are not here, you can't get these stories anywhere else. So, but one thing I can assure you, as our ardent cultural champion who comes to listen to these stories, it's just getting interesting. The lineup ahead, I can steal for you that it's quite impactful. Because remember, say for example, things like Luanda Magere, it's a book, it gets finished. But let me tell you, what we pick and put back when Luanda Magere, or in place of Luanda Magere, is even more and more intriguing. I'm just giving an example. So the lineup, all I'm saying is the lineup ahead that I've stolen with my eyes and I've seen as being put together by the team behind the program, and that is Ramugi Cultural Institute for Luo Heritage Research and Education. These people are doing there is a lot of research in this thing. A lot that is going on. And they are the programs are a reflection of where we want to move, and we want to move together. We are politicians, we are religious, we are footballers, we are everything. That those ones we are not even saying we can't be those. But we just talking of 2 hours or 2.5 hours of handing of Luoness consciously. Being Nyikwaramuge, being where did we come from? It can only happen here. It can only happen when I host GK Ramoth, a man who has done a lot of research in this all over the world. Because human beings, you have to understand, yes, what was down our lunes. You don't get it to Europe. That's where we find some of our long stolen beards are housed there. They are keeping them there. From our grandmothers, from our sisters. Why do you keep things that are belong to the primitive people for years in beautiful museums? We must ask ourselves. These are these things that give us questions. If they are so primitive, they're not nice. Why do you keep them in your museums? Why do you keep our books that some of them you can't even read yourself because of the way they were written in your library? You don't release them to us. Those are questions that beg for answers. Thank you. It's been always a pleasure to host Ramoth. It's always a pleasure to have you on board. For those who don't know, because sometimes I read things that have come through and you're asking yourself, possibly you're asking yourself, but these people who are communicating, how do they communicate with you to ask this question? Number one, there is a chat button right in your phone there. In the broadcast page there, there's a chat button. You can chat with us live as the program is going on. You can chat, you can ask a question. If not, right now, if you look down there, there is an email running slowly through, belonging to Ramogi Cultural Institute. There's an email there. Write to us, ask questions. If there is something that is not clear, you want to be clarified, we are always ready to even cancel whatever is going, but we must make sure that because you are the reason we are doing this. So if you tell us, I'm not understanding something, I think today let me take this opportunity to clarify this, because I think we may be taking it for granted. It's not just us coming and talking and we enjoy and we know. If there is something you didn't understand, even if you want report to me repeat at a whole, and you there at the chat there, you sometimes see as project a message. Feel free to communicate through the email. If you need clarification, question, like someone's about the creation story. Those are the things we want to hear, and then it makes us plan ourselves ahead, and we plan with you, not us. This is not about us. This is about you, our cultural champion. I thought it was important that because some of you might be wondering, these things George Oda Wonele is reading, where is he getting them from? I'm getting them from you guys. Some come through the email, mostly come through the chat. And I must confess, there are a number of people also who can reach me very directly. So that's another issue that is there. So thank you so much. Appreciated. And remember, we are also in YouTube, we are in Facebook. Even now, as we are projecting this, it's being actually when you are X, if you are on X, and it's giving you some problems. And I have got very good technical team behind me. As I'm doing that, they're reminding me. They're saying, "Hey, to tell them about the YouTube, tell them about the Facebook." So we have a very, very, very concrete technical team behind us, always reminding us when we forget something. So thank you guys. So they are reminding me we are on YouTube, we are on Facebook. So if possibly one of the technicians is telling me to remind you, if you sometimes X may have its own issues, you can find us through Facebook and YouTube live as we present the programs. I thought that was important to make it clear today. Thank you very much. And let's journey together. Let's build this Luo consciousness bit by bit. We are not driving away the information or the knowledge that has been. Your brain has got a capacity to keep what is right and to discard what is wrong. A brain is how you program it, it works like that. So much. Thank you. Thank you, GK, for always being there. It has always been a pleasure. Thank you.